Matson.Outdoors family. Today I am in what used to be our chicken enclosure. I moved the chickens over next door, and this is going to be the temporary cage for Pika right now for the breeding season. I said before in previous videos I don't want her breeding, and this right here will be perfect as a temporary fix. Now, we used to actually have our foxes in this enclosure here back when we first moved to Florida from Ohio. So it's got the fencing on the top, it's got fencing on the bottom. I just need to double check, make sure since over time that nothing has weakened and there's no spots for her to possibly get out at. But I'm going to get it set up for her so that way she doesn't have any kits. I'm going to be leaving the 2 female foxes in there with Mr. Fox to maybe possibly, if they want to breed, they're more than happy to breed. If not, that's fine. But Pika, she's 10 years old. I know I read a lot on the Fox comments there in the video. A lot of people think she's been continuously bred. She has not been continuously bred. She's 10 years old. She's only had 5 litters. And that's every other year. So no, she has not been overbred or anything. She does her own thing. Mr. Fox and her have this well-balanced relationship. Mr. Fox knows to not mess with her, so on and so forth, like a married couple. But no, she has not been overbred, anybody. Come on. I appreciate your guys' concerns, but to see comments like that when nobody knows the actual situation kind of bothers me a little bit. But hey, it's okay. But last year I had separated her and I was just a little too late from the breeding season. So that's why she ended up having kits last year. I didn't want her to have kits, but she did. I didn't know she was pregnant until literally about maybe 3 weeks before she had the kits, because I was petting her underbelly and I noticed her fur started to come off. She only had 3 kits and she was so small I couldn't even tell she was pregnant, especially with the big fluffiness of her fur that she had. So she wasn't big to even tell she was pregnant until a few weeks before. So well in advance before breeding season starts here in a few weeks, I'm getting this cage set up so she can be in here temporarily. After breeding season's done and over with, she'll be going back in with the other foxes to be with her friends. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this enclosure set up for her. I'll add a couple perches, get a couple stands in here because she really likes being out in the sun. And then also the chickens are next door, so I'm gonna have to put a cover over there just so she doesn't bother the chickens. If anything, I could always move the chickens somewhere else if it becomes a problem, but we should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this enclosure so I can get her moved over in here. Stay tuned. So the first thing I'm gonna be working on here in the enclosure for Pika is I'm gonna redo all of this. I'm gonna get it all nice and cleaned up, but I would like to get rid of this top part, put fresh new boarding down for her because the chickens love this area. So I just want to get rid of it and clean it, make sure it's nice and clean. And then the next thing will be to work on the house for her and see if I can get a couple other toys and stuff in here for her as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and start disassembling this and put new wood on. I have it all taken apart. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take it out, clean it up, and see if I can come up with something new for this area. Maybe I'll do another decking for sure, but maybe I can do like a boardwalk this way, or you know, anything. Maybe even with this post here I can attach a little platform for her to be out in the sun. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get this trash all cleaned up. It's no good. It's been there for quite a few years. Now you may want to call me trashy or a hoarder, but a while ago my mom took down my grandpa's shed and I have all these pieces here that once was a shed. Well, I could never put the shed back together because, as you can see, a lot of the stuff was broken just from it being old. Now, I'm just playing around with the idea, but I like to try to recycle and repurpose stuff that I have. And this material would actually last longer and be a lot better than what that stuff was. So I could always clean this off and, you know, possibly reuse it for something else if I ever need to. Like this over here, this was just a temporary thing that I did when I got the new foxes from Ohio. I kind of did this when I had the chickens in here to shield it away. that's also another part of the shed, which I have more side pieces like that I might end up just building along this anyways to hide my chickens from Pika, and maybe she won't want to eat them as much. I don't know. But I do have another cage on the other side of that chicken cage to move them further. But it's a little bit smaller is the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with this. If anything, I have, like I said, more of like these longer ones. I can do a longer one and stretch it out more this way so she can have this whole range of area, or I could just keep it small and do another thing. So I'm just going to play around with it a little bit, but this is an idea that I have. Go ahead and recycle this. It'll be easy wash and cleanable if I need to clean it, but yeah, that's one of my ideas. I'm going to keep playing around and go with it. Stay tuned. Here's a look at it with a wider top, like I said with the other piece that I have. I actually think I am digging this wider top better than I was with this little one. And then also with this top part, I'm going to be screwing up underneath the tire into this to hold this in place with the tire. But the better thing too that I like is that with these handle-like parts, I can fasten it to the fence so I have more stability and control of it with less movement of it. I like this idea better. She's got more of a range to stretch out if she would like. It provides a good amount of shade underneath it. So I think I'm going to be going with definitely this look here. I like this a lot better. Little thing, no go. Big thing, yes. Okay, well, I'm going to get this all put together and have it nice and snug so it doesn't move. Oh, you know what? No, that's going to be too slick. I was going to say, oh wait, what does the other side of it look like? Trying to think of, she jumps really well, but like I said, she's also getting older, so I'm going to try to do like how I had it before, a ramp up there that the chickens used to go up on. So I'm going to try to build kind of a little walkway. That I might have to do out of wood. I don't think I have anything offhand. Or I have concrete blocks. I have extra concrete blocks that I can use and just make her own little steps up to it. That I can maybe do. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay guys, stay tuned. I have my drill, I have some screws. I don't really need that thick of screws because the tire is really not that thick and the plastic also isn't that thick. So this is just to hold it down. And then I have some heavy duty grade cable zip ties. Now this is what I'm going to use for the handle part here and attach it to the fence so that this doesn't slide off or anything. I'm going to go ahead and do this right now so that way it stays in place for when I go to screw underneath it. I have my few simple zip ties. I put 2 zip ties on each handle so that way it, it doesn't go side to side, and when I put pressure in the back it doesn't dip down or anything, and when I put pressure in the front it doesn't lift up. So I think I am good with that. And like I said, this is temporarily. I could always make it permanent if I want to, but right now if I don't like it, or if it's something that Pika doesn't like, my animal doesn't like, I can always easily just cut the zip ties, switch it all up, you know, always adjust it and make it easy or fun. But yeah, so it works out perfect. Like I said, it doesn't push back and tilt backwards or anything. Now, of course it will lift up, but that's because I don't have it screwed in yet into the tire. Once I get it screwed into the tire, these tires are decently heavy, especially when they get filled with sand and dirt and other things. Now there's drain holes that I put in the tires so that way it never fills with water, it always drains out. That lessens having mucky bacteria water in here that mosquitoes and a whole bunch of other weird stuff can grow in it. So always remember to put drain holes in your tires. And then there's drain holes in this thing too, so it never fills with water. As you can see, it's got some water on the tire right there because some water that was in it, and once I flipped it over this way, it drained out. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure my tires are leveled and straight before I go ahead and screw it in from underneath here up into this plastic, so we won't have this part. Everything will be completely supported and weighed down.